Myself suffered with a little bit of cancer and is now battled back to full fitness, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for the legend that is John Hartson, ladies and gents.
Amen, thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Super John!
Not about me tonight. Thank you very much.
Super John!
Thank you, guys. It's a real privilege for me tonight. When I was approached by the guys, King Kong Events, a couple of months ago, they said, we've got Paolo Di Canio coming over for 3 nights at the Barking Theatre. Would you do the honours and interview Paolo? So I thought, well, I know Paolo the player, I know Paolo the character. I knew nothing about him. So my wife went on the internet and she ordered his book. So for the last 3.5 weeks, I've done nothing else but read his book. Because I think if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right from the start. I want to get to know his upbringing, his career, the person, his family, where it all started for him. And I just think when you take something on like this, there's a good audience paying good money and they want it to be special, you know, and I had to read his book. So, and in the book, it says, Harry Redknapp was a genius. Not for his football brain, but the fact that he got 7.5 million for Hartson. John Hartson, I'm not saying was a bad player, but he was no Diego Maradona. Quoted Paolo Di Canio's book. But no, I unfortunately missed Paolo twice during my career. When I went to Celtic, Paolo just left, just gone to Sheffield Wednesday. And of course, what's ironic about tonight, really, and the fact is that when I was sold, Harry Redknapp went out the next day. He had money available, which was quite dangerous, as you know. He had money available, and he went out and bought 3 players. Paolo Di Canio, Scott Minto, and Mark Vivian Foey. God rest his soul, he's no longer there. So, the strange thing really was that if I hadn't left West Ham, Paolo Di Canio may never have signed for Harry Redknapp. You know, so, but there we are. So it's great to be here, as I said. I'm looking forward to this. I've met Paolo today. I've met him before, obviously, at different charity events and stuff, but we met up today and I ran through what I was going to say and anything that, of course, he didn't want me to mention. He did want me to over-elaborate on, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to have a great night and just bear with us. It's not going to be too formal. It's going to be 2 lads, 2 ex-footballers, one in good shape, one a little bit out of shape. Just having a crack, just being very normal, both being very humble. So I hope you have a wonderful night, guys. Brilliant. So I believe we have a little small video that the guys want to play. So if everybody could look up on the screen there. gentlemen, let's welcome the legend himself, Mr. Paolo Di Canio.
Thank you. You are too kind. Let me say one thing. John Hartson is much better than Diego Maradona. Much better, much better. So, thanks. This is the biggest gift in the last 20 years that I should have, because when someone called me and told me, you come to have a night with lots of people, normally West Ham fans, obviously, you know, you smile and say yes, okay, I'm enjoying. You think that you don't feel the same sensation that you had maybe 15 years ago. But once I meet those people with the shirt, when I can see that color, I go mad. It's something that now is inside to my heart, my stomach. It's something special. I don't know how it happened. Thanks to them, they are magic. So.
Well, Paolo, I'm sure we're going to enjoy this next hour or so. I was going to start with basically, how are you? How are you feeling? You good?
Yeah,
You look good.
I look really fit. I'm fitter than when I used to play.
What a stupid question that was, wasn't it?
But I work hard every day, yeah? The people maybe they laughing, you know. But
wow.
25 kilometers and now I went mad, so now I participate often to extreme run, you know, obstacle race, and then I go around Europe to fight when I run.
You know, mudder, you know that 6.5 kilometers or tough mudder, where you go over obstacles and you're neck deep in mud and all that. Well, Paolo does that now. He's doing a lot of them, which is phenomenally hard.
But the problem is, he says 6.5 kilometers. In Barcelona was 25 kilometers. Wow. That was really tough.
That's a good start for me anyway, wasn't it?
Anyway, they don't
Paolo,
something different.
We've got to go back to the start. As I said, I mentioned that I've been going over your book. Born in Rome, fantastic, famous city in Italy. You were the youngest of 4 brothers, and you were very close to your eldest brother, Antonio. Antonio was 9 years older than you, and you were brought up on a really Corticiolo, the estate in Rome. And you say in the book that you used to go and jump into bed with your brother, your elder brother, because he made you feel safe. Tell us a little bit about that growing up and, you know, 4 brothers.
But I'm a bit old. 1968, those period all around Europe, in the world, there was no very good moment, you know. And in Italy, the crimes was very high, and especially in Rome. And live in a quarter like I grew up, where I grew up. It was really tough because normally the families got 2 maybe boys or 2 girls. One of the 2, 50% of those probably finish in a bad road, in a bad way. We are 4 brothers. I was the youngest, and Antonio, which was still the biggest, used to play Lazio with the youth team of Lazio. He was my hero because my dream was always to play for Lazio team. But Antonio and Dino, the 2 oldest brothers, they supported Roma. That was disgraceful for me. So you can imagine, grew up in a room because we had only 1 room in 4, and you have 2 Roman fans in front of you. You're very young, little, so you must have 2 strong, a big character to grow up in this way. I don't want to use bad words too much, young people. And but you know, when I think about when I was young, everyone I think got good memories, because even if you born as a rich person, or as a humid person, it happened to me, your house, your room, your brothers, your parents, the family that you got around, let you feel, even now that I'm 51, when I think about those period, warm. I feel warm, like if I still safe, even if my dad and my mom, they passed away a few years ago, you feel that they stay with you. You think that you were lucky, because you had a good family, because you grew up safe. Of course, sometimes I made a mistake, of course, but you know that you did something good for them, that you put everything to make them proud, and it's obvious that at the end, sometimes you think you should do something better, but I'm a normal person with 2 daughters, with a family. I'm happy because my 2 daughters, they live in England, and that made me proud. It means that they were enjoy like me, and they decided to come back in England to go to university, and now they work here. So I'm very happy because England, in some way, and West Ham for me, you are my second family.
Brilliant. Well, I met one of your daughters. I met one of Paolo's daughters in at the hotel, and she's studying at the minute in London, so it was great to see them both together. Your dad, you just mentioned your dad there, he's no longer with us, he's passed. Ignazio, your dad, and he was a builder. And you've always had respect for builders in general, artists, if you like, builders who can put massive, beautiful, stunning buildings together, working as a group. And your dad was a Lazio fan as well, so he would have played a huge role in your early life, surely.
Yeah, but he wasn't a fanatical Lazio fan, because he became a Lazio fan because he used to work at the Olympic Stadium, and there was the national team there, and the striker called Canio, he used to play for Lazio in 70, 72, 73. He's the only player that once they arrived there, remained a few minutes with the people that were there since 6 o'clock in the morning, playing and working really hard. So that fact shocked in some way, in a good way, my father. And for this reason, he became a Lazio fan, not because he was a fanatical. But I became a Lazio fan, not because my father was a Lazio fan, because I like to be like West Ham fans. We like to suffer. It's inside ourselves. Because if we... Otherwise, you can be hammers through and through. Otherwise, you are another team through and through. Every Saturday, you smile, and hey, you go back to the office. We won again, we won again. We like to suffer because once we are going to win something at West Ham, we're going to celebrate for 10 years, because that counts much more than the 200 trophies of other clubs that they usually win, because this is the destiny, and we love it, because we like to suffer, because we are strong.
Well, you started with Lazio at the age of 12, 13 years of age, which was your love, of course. But you played for Pro Roma.
Oh my God, don't mention that name. Pro Roma, no.
Well, you mentioned it in your book, so I'm going to
told
ask
you,
the question.
I whispered to your ear. You can't mention. I say to you, yeah, when I was 11, just because I wanted to play football, close to my house, there was this team called Pro Roma. And they used to have a kit with yellow and red color, Roman color. After 1 year, they tried to keep me. They tried to convince me, no, stay with us. No. 1 year was too much. So I need to move in a team where I can wear the white and the blue sky color. The blue color. So I went to Lazio. Well,
And obviously, while you were at Lazio in the academy at that particular time, Italy, the national team won the World Cup in 1982. the first time in 40 years, and you say in the book, that was a huge moment, watching the Italian national team. You were in the academy, and that just gave you a massive lift boost. The national team had won the World Cup.
But we are in a place like in England where the people go mad for football. If you growing up, I was 14 at the time, where your national team win the World Cup is the maximum that you can have. The excitement for the supporters, but also for the people that are dreaming to become a footballer one day. So that gave me even more desire, the passion to work day by day, harder and harder, to try to arrive at the top. Obviously, the dream is to become a professional footballer and consequently to go in the national team. It didn't happen to me, unfortunately, because I played only for the under 21 in my national team. Because
you got a B cap, one B cap.
Yeah, because in that period we had a fantastic footballer. Baggio, Del Piero,
yeah.
Vialli, so Mancini, lots of fantastic footballers. Donadoni was difficult for me because I used to play in that position. So one day I tried to say, let me play right back, but there was a very good player, but I didn't convince them. They say, no, it's not good for you. But obviously it was good. I think in England, obviously, it's many years that you try, you waiting for win something important as a national team. But the Premier League is already, there is excitement in football every weekend. I think that the young people, they find every weekend the motivation to become a professional footballer, because every weekend you can see and you can watch the best football in the world. The most competition you can have is in the Premier League. 6 teams, they are close there. Obviously, Manchester City, Liverpool more than Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, and Chelsea. But the top 6 in this moment, they still play for win something in Europe. I know that someone here, they hope not, but because maybe they support against them. But English football is an amazing football. Not only when I used to play, I'm not the kind of footballer that once finish his career is the player that mentioned, when I used to play it was bad, I was good. No, I think in this moment the Premier League is an amazing football. This is why I got my own program called Paolo di Canio Premier Show in Italy, because I love to comment English football, because I maintain this link with English football, but in especially way England.
Fantastic. When are you going to get me over to your show? So
We can arrange,
to Italy.
First, John Hart
Get Maradona.
is better than Maradona, I tell you. I told him before, you can imagine if we had the chance to play together with my delivery. Used to play 20 years in the national team, for sure.
I'd have made you 30 goals a season, Paolo, I know that, but no, that would have been nice, but unfortunately, we never crossed paths on that level. But no, you went into the academy at Lazio from the age of 14 to 16, and then you signed professional terms with Lazio when they were in Serie B, and then you were promoted up to Serie A, and in the first Lazio-Roma derby. Now this is like phenomenal. The Olympic Stadium. Your first experience of a derby against your biggest rivals, Roma. You won 1-0 and you got the winning goal.
Strange.
That's good status, by the way. Tell us, what does that mean to you now? What did it mean at the time?
I still think about that moment as it happened this moment, because I used to support Lazio, and I used to go in the tough terrace, Curva Nord, cold, in the middle of the people that they know, they sing, they prepare the atmosphere for the players. I remember that when we went through the tunnel to walk out on the field, all the players were already on the middle of the field. I was there just 2 yards outside the tunnel and look at the Curva Nord, the terrace, because I know that they prepare maybe the choreography, you know, something good to show the people and the television. So I was there like this. And then someone, Paolo! Paolo! What? So my brain was, ready to go up to the terrace and on the field. And during the game, I don't know how it happened, I had the ability to maintain, the calmness, because it wasn't easy. 19 years of age, you come from, a few experience in the terrace in some way, not even really good, because I wasn't really a quiet guy in my life. On the field, I was very good because all my passion, my desire were positive energy, and then I scored that goal. But the problem was that I scored under the opponent's fans' terrace. I don't know how I ran in front of them. Say, it's me, it's me, it's me. And then at the end, we won 1-0. I don't know why. But it was a fantastic moment, you can imagine. As a children, grew up as a Lazio fan, scored at the first derby. The Lazio didn't win the derby for 10 years. And that was the first time after 10 years that we won the derby with my goal. So you can imagine around the city, you can imagine for the next 3-4 days what's happened. We couldn't go to the training session because on the ground there were 7,000 people watching the training session. So the other half of Roma went mad.
Well, you say there, that winning goal, Lazio, Roma, you've always seemed the type of player to me that wanted to please the people, wanted to please the fans. You were always trying to do something unique, one thing in a game that just people could go home and say to their kids, by the way, I saw that today. What a great bit of skill that was. So to have done something like that, you always seemed that type of player to want to make the fans go home happy. You were a supporters player.
But you're right, John, but it's not about the ability, because every player's got his ability. Once I decided to move to West Ham, West Ham fans were a very well-known supporters around the world that they tell you, you can play well, you can play bad. Obviously, we hope you play well, but they recognize if you give it your best. But to be honest, even earlier, or in my career, I gave always my best because I grew up as a supporter, as a fan that went around Italy,
So
make sacrifice. So let's say, okay, we can lose. Obviously, everybody can lose, everybody can win, but it's important that I can see the players give their best. So for me, it was easy. Everywhere I've been, everywhere I played, with the AC Milan, Naples. When I go to Milan, when I go to Naples, the people obviously they remind that they had a better player, Van Basten, Gullit, Baresi, Maldini. But always I receive a good reception because good memories. Because always 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 90 minutes, you give always your best and you play with your heart, with passion. That is the best things to receive from people when you work in this environment, And always I try to bring on the field the desire, the mentality and the passion of the supporters. And then if you play well, you score obviously much better, you can send them back home more happy.
Yes, well, you had 5 years at your beloved Lazio. You left in 1990 and you joined Juventus. Now, some of the names, I'm looking at some of the names that were at Juve at the time. The likes of Baggio, Vialli, Ravanelli, Conte, of course.
He used to have a lesson like us.
Yeah, he did.
Now he's full of I don't know how it happened, but
He's had the old Willie Thorne stitching job, He's had one of them. But no, Juventus, and you said in your book as well, you were a great fan of Michael Laudrup, who was a phenomenal player. Played for Juve, played for Real Madrid, Denmark international, and he was silky. He glided past people. But them type of players early on in your life, them experiences that you must have took on during your career to have played with some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, but Laudrup was my hero in some way because I was in a Lazio youth team and he came to Lazio loan from Juventus. He was young, obviously, but in the way he used to carry the ball, his tricks, gave me even more the desire to train, to try to imitate him in some way, because I wasn't like him, but the people should see that I had since the beginning of my career anyway the good technique, good quality, take off the opponent, try to with desire, with ambition to go 1v1, and that was my my hero to try to follow. I think sometimes when the people talking about ex-footballer, obviously we can mention many about Maradona, I don't know, many that made the history of football in general. But Michael Laudrup, I don't hear too much about him, but he was an incredible footballer. As you mentioned, the team where he played, how much he won in his career. He was a fantastic footballer.
And also, when I watched you play, you were very much for the team. And Michael Laudrup was like that. Paolo was the type of player that if he went around the goalkeeper and he had a goal, just a simple tap in, if you like, could roll the ball in the back of the net. But there was a player to his right, he'd slide it across. Very, very unselfish. And Laudrup was very much like that. He played for the team, he wanted to create openings, but he was also a great goal scorer.
Yeah, you're right, because that is a part of your character, not only as a footballer, as a person.
Yeah.
So it means that sometimes you feel more happiness, satisfaction if you give something to someone.
I would have put the ball in the goal.
I know. This is why we should play together,
But
I don't want to contradict him because tonight I don't want to fight with him. I feel relaxed. I feel tonight.
You had a year from Juventus. You had a year at Napoli. Obviously, post Diego Maradona, and obviously, but you would have watched Maradona, got close to him, and for me, he's the greatest ever. I know you got Messi, Ronaldo. It's all about. You could open the debate. But for me, Maradona was just on another level.
I agree completely. It's difficult because maybe there are lots of people that didn't see him play or someone that saw also Pelé play. It's difficult to compare players from different era, because different football. But for what I know, for what I saw, I think Maradona was incredible. Every league where he played with Napoli. So when they won the league in Italy, there was a Milan that had a Sacchi manager with Hullit, Van Basten, Rijkaard, Baresi, Maldini. He played next to others, 10 players that the season before they were nearly to relegated. It doesn't mean that Maradona played his own, but he gave the chance to the others, grew up and became a better footballer. So it was amazing. And I want to tell you this. Napoli versus Lazio. We went to San Paolo Stadium. I remember that we went out for warm up. So, okay, dai, come on, lads. Prepare well, dai, tonight we need to win, okay. I saw Maradona walking out with his daughters in his arms, and then starting to play with his ball. My teammates, they started run, warming up. Come on, lads, come on, prepare well. I was there like that. And Materazzi was the manager. Paolo, come on. The dream came true. See Maradona in front of you and play against him was amazing. And if I think that at the end of that game we won 3-0, and the day after the big title was the Canio is the real Maradona. I don't want to be arrogant. There was a title like that for sure, but they were mad. They finished their career as a journalist, as a media.
Well, from Napoli, you only had a year there. You went to AC Milan, another global super club, if you like. This all happened before Paolo even came over to play in England.
Don't say this. I don't want to hurt you. I know what you're gonna say now.
Yeah, well, actually, we did meet. AC Milan played Arsenal in the 1995 Super Cup final, and
Don't say this. I want to help you.
it was Paul Mercer's comeback game at the Emirates, at the Highbury. Sorry, Mercer had been in a Priory. God bless him. He's having a bit of a tough time at the minute as well, Paul, with the gambling and the addictions, which is he's obviously. No, it's never his fault. But no, we played AC Milan, and because AC Milan had won the Champions League in '94, and Arsenal had won the Cup Winners' Cup in '94, so they meet in the Super Cup final. And we went there. I was playing for Arsenal, and we got beat 2-0 at the San Siro in the Super Cup final. And when I was reading Paolo's book, Paolo came on in the 68th minute of that game. And I had to apologise because I couldn't remember him coming on.
I couldn't remember you. Of course, I can understand.
But they won the game anyway. They beat us 2-0, and that was a little bit good silverware, Super Cup final. But AC Milan, you look at it, the back four, Baresi, Costa Curta, Maldini. They've retired the number 3 shirt. They've retired Maldini's shirt. You know, Desai, Hullet, Van Basten.
Albertini, Van Basten,
Yeah,
Hullet. We are.
Yeah. What was it, AC Milan? What was that like to play with them players?
High school for everyone in that period. They were at the top of the world because they are the best talent, the best athletes, players. And they used to play modern football already since 10 years earlier. And nobody could play and win against them in easy way. So I remember that in training session, sometimes Capello was the manager at the time, at the end of the training session used to play 20 minutes in that way. The back four and the goalkeeper against all the rest of the team. We were in 20. Of course, with the offside, we have the 2 linesmen, the assistant manager and others, another person. In 25 minutes for 100 sessions, maybe, in 1 year, if we score 2 goals in 20 versus 4, maybe I exaggerate, not even 2. With the rules, with the offside, is incredible. They were perfect. The mechanism,
ask
the movement.
Why were they so good? And you just summed it up. Because the work on the training ground, that repetition, going over and over and over again.
Every day,
Incredible.
that situation.
Yeah, that's why they
only the back four, and at the end against 10, 12, 14. One day Capello said, lads, please, score a goal against those 4. All 20 against them. 20, 25 minutes, all 0 or maybe 1 goal, I don't remember. It's incredible. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Individually and collectively, they were perfect. That was incredible. You think that Baresi is 176. He's not a tall player.
No.
But on the field, he used to look a giant. The position, the desire, the anger, the attention. He was ferocious in everything. I remember in the dressing room, he wasn't a leader by talking. You know, there are leaders that they talking, come on, lads. One day I was joking on the dressing room before the match. I was young, and then I remember his face like that. I was enjoying, yeah? And now, come on, oh, hey, it's morning, today we have to win, today, oggi dobbiamo vincere. He was a leader. He was a British bulldog in this way. So you learn everything from those people. If you are not stupid, if you're not crazy, they give you something more. it's obvious that you can't become Baresi, but you can give 3, 4, 10, 20% more of your ability, of your ambition. That makes a difference on you and on the rest of your teammates. So play for Juventus, play for AC Milan. With those players gave me the chance to be quite good footballer. Otherwise, I was crap footballer, you know.
Great pedigree, by the way. What's a learning curve, you know, as you're building your career to be amongst them type of people and leaders, as you said. So you left AC Milan in 1998, and you decided to come over to British football. I say British because you joined Celtic, and your manager there was Tommy Burns, of course, not with us anymore.
Fantastic
and you
lads.
only played 30 games for Celtic, and you're almost like I had 5 years with Glasgow Celtic, and people still talk about you. I'm not patronising. People still talk about Paolo Di Canio, George Cadet, Pierre Van Hooijdonk, them type of strikers. And I played with Henrik Larsson, these type of people. So for me, you only played 30 games there.
Yep.
But you say in your book, it's a special club.
Couldn't imagine. Obviously, when I was young, I used to play Subuteo. The two my favorite teams were Celtic, because it was strange to see the white and green, you know, strip in a shirt, and then West Ham. That I remember in the box there was West Ham or Aston Villa. I was already angry. Why Aston Villa? It's only West Ham. Why? So the two Subuteo team I used to play with, because the colors were amazing. Claret and Blue belonged to West Ham and stop. This is the story. But I went to Celtic, and when I arrived to Parquet, I couldn't imagine. Obviously, you didn't have access like you have, you know, with a computer to see everything. And once I arrived in front of those stadium, you know, and I saw the stadium, it was amazing for me. It was a dream. Obviously, the league wasn't, you know, a competitive league, you know, fantastic. But the experience was good. At the end, I left Celtic, there is in my book, you know, because at the beginning of the season, I gave my hand to the chairman, and we didn't want to sign an extra to the contract. And we said, if I play well all season, for you, we're talking again about, you know, the new contract, as you can do. So at the end of the season, I was voted Player of the Year. Or you convince me that the people are mad, or you have something wrong. So he said to me, you had a very bad season. Yeah, all Scotland say that I'm the best. So I say, maybe we can carry on together, but not for the money, in the way you treated this situation. And then at the end, we broke the relationship, and then I left Celtic for Sheffield Wednesday.
1998, you left Celtic and you joined Sheffield Wednesday. David Pleat was the manager, my manager coming through at Luton as well. And you left for 4.2 million in 1998. Which
very cheap.
Yeah.
Too cheap.
But you look now, what is that, 21 years ago, and a lot of money. It's 50, 60 million in today's market, probably, I would think. Sheffield Wednesday, you had a year there, just over a year, and I can't talk about Sheffield Wednesday without the infamous push on the referee, Paul Alcott. So it was against Arsenal, Paolo. It was Paul Alcott, and take it over.
But I didn't do. I was wrong, and talking serious.
But he made a fucking meal of it, didn't he?
Talking serious. Obviously, Even Polalco is not anymore with us, but I was wrong to touch him. But in the way it happened, it wasn't my fault. Because Martin Keown, you know, he came there. I was there talking to Vieira and say, don't do this, please. Dai, come on, stay quiet. I was relaxed. If you see the video, I was there. Come on, to try to share, you know, to avoid the chance to fight between Winnie Young, that played in my side, and Vieira, that I met when I played for AC Milan. He was very young. I knew him. Martin Keown didn't understand that situation. He arrived and then he gave his elbow into my nose. In an instant, I don't know why I lost my temper, obviously. Can happen. But if I have to take something positive from that situation, is that 11 matches banned. Okay. Yes. Oh my God, I can't say what I want to say. But 3 months in Italy, working hard and hard every day to be ready in case someone give me the chance to go back in English football. Because my agent at the time, I used to say, you mad, you can go back to England. Oh my God, I remember my wife, after a few months, told me that Moreno Roggi, which was and still my friend, at the time was my agent, he say in a Tuscany way, because they don't use the R. You know, I used to say, I try English, I don't know if it works, but, I think he's crazy, he can't go back to England, they kill him. And my character told me, because I have 3-4 options around Europe, I go back to England, because I was wrong, I didn't kill anybody, and I want to have the opportunity because, oh my God, I want to play in England and stay there for a long time. And the positive thing, there is a karma that we got. I suffer a lot, but at the end I landed in my house, which is West Ham.
Well, you had a year or so at Sheffield Wednesday, obviously 11-game ban. And credit to you, because the attitude you showed there, you wanted to come back to England. You could have gone to Spain, you could have gone to Italy. You were 29, 30 years of age, in your prime of your fitness. But no, your strength, mentality, the desire, your heart, you showed great traits for me. You wanted to come back to England because you had unfinished business, if you like. And West Ham come in, they take you, and I know how Harry talks. I worked with Harry. Harry would say it was a gamble. He would like to take the credit for it, but he would say it was a gamble. And because of the side that you showed, you know, at Sheffield Wednesday, I suppose there's lots of clubs that wouldn't have took you because of that, Paolo. Do you know what I mean? Without sounding
cheaper and cheaper.
Harry took you, and West Ham, as you said, you came back home.
Yeah.
And what a 4 years you had at West Ham.
4 years and a half.
Yeah.
Can't forget. Brilliant. So, at the end of January, I signed the contract. I was in December, Christmas period, in Italy. There was the rumors. Moreno Roggi called me and said, "Oh, Paolo, maybe we can go back to England." Now we can go. Yes, West Ham interested in you. I go straight away. But we need to negotiate. You negotiate, but tell them that I sign straight away because I want to go. Okay, we're talking. At the end of January, I sign together with Marc Vivien Foé, which is there, is still in our heart forever. Fantastic fella, fantastic guy, fantastic footballer. And since the first day, I remember that we had the press conference, and then straight away we trained at Upton Park. And looking outside, all those colors, claret, Bobby Mustang, and blue, of course. I couldn't wait to put my foot there for play. And once we start, because if I'm not wrong, the first game was away against Wimbledon. We played with a white away shirt. I came on 20 minutes to go, probably.
0-0.
0-0.
And I got slaughtered by the West Ham fans. Just made you 3 times your money. Kept you up on my own the year before, but I got slaughtered. No, but your first game was at Selhurst Park, Wimbledon away, yes.
And then the second game, if I'm not wrong, Blackburn at home. I scored the most difficult goal in my life. Inside the goal, I was, a good combination. Lampard that gave me like a chocolate in front of the goal. It was easy to eat, to put in, and then the test was amazing. I went in front of the amazing fans. I said, "Come on, I'm back for you. I'm back for you."
Well, West Ham, obviously, there's so much to talk about. You filled in, you said if you hadn't left West Ham, you'd have been happy to stay for 10 years. You found your home, you were happy, you felt fit, you felt appreciated. And there's so many things, West Ham. I'll start with that famous disagreement, altercation that you had with Frank Lampard. Overtaking that penalty.
When?
Well, it's in your book, so...
No,
but I can remember,
no, it's not my book.
They show it now, by the way, on our television.
No, but I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. What's happened? Can you remind me? Tell me what's happened?
It was against Bradford.
It was me, you.
But you took the penalty, you
But
insisted...
no, it was opposite. I used to say you. They say, no, you. No, you. No, you. You. Okay, me, but okay, no problem, I go. So if you don't want, I try.
But ultimately, you took it, and you scored, of course,
Yeah.
which was very important that you scored. Of course. What was that like? Well, that was against Bradford, wasn't it?
No, you know what's happened? The problem was that a few weeks before we played against Aston Villa in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
No, I missed in the league, but in the cup, Paul Kitson, he had a good 1v1 on in the box, and then he won a penalty. Frankie, that was a penalty taker that period, wasn't sure, because I remember that I went to take the ball. He didn't, no. He didn't come to me because he missed the penalty 2 weeks earlier. I don't remember in a game. And he was unsure because it was 90 minutes. We were 1-0 down, and then he didn't come. And then I took the ball, looking him, and he went far, a bit from the box. I say, okay, I take the ball, no problem. I score. It's easy for me to score in the penalty, and then I score. And then 1-0. And a week later, it happened that we again Kitson won the penalty. He wanted to take. I say, no, now I take the penalty, because last week, 2 weeks ago, you were worried. Now it's not fair. Now I take the ball, I score, and then I give you, when we run back to the middle of the field because we were down, I say, now come on, forget it. I scored, forget. But you're gonna score anyway.
3-0 down, or was it 4-1? What was the score? You were losing the game, weren't you?
3-1 down.
3-1, yes.
And then 4-2. 4-2, and then 4-3 for all, and 5-4 for us. And Frankie Lampard scored the fifth goal in fantastic way. I gave the assist for him. Yes. So I gave the ball back, don't be mind.
Brilliant.
So I don't want to let you take the penalty, because you scored 4-2.
Yeah.
Who reminded 4-2? I give you the chance to score the fifth goal, and
Yes.
you remain in the memories of everybody. So I was anyway, very generous to him.
Everton away, Goodison Park. I think
Now they say, at the time, fucking 1-1, we need the points, it's gonna go on.
they just had it in.
I go, what is doing? What is doing? And then now, yeah, I went,
The ball comes over from the right.
With the ball came over.
I'm fine.
The ball came over from the right. Gerrard in goal for Everton. Just innocuous, went down on his knees. I think he'd torn his knee or his ligaments or something. You're 10 yards out. You've got a simple header or a tap in. The goalkeeper's on his knees. And you spot it, which you show great vision by spotting it. A lot of people wouldn't even have spotted the goalie. And you catch the ball. And you go, referee, the goalkeeper's down. It would be unfair for me to score a goal when the goalkeeper is desperately struggling. And you then went on, brilliant, to win the FIFA Fair Play Award. Out of all Europe, all the games around Europe, every league, there's an award every year for when somebody does something extraordinary. Gamesmanship, shows brilliant an attitude to the game, everything else. You caught the ball and you won the award. Incredible. What a moment.
thank you. But now I tell you the truth.
The truth. Here we go.
I kept the ball because I never had a chance to score because I was too far. No, no. As you said, it was clear. It was clear the situation because Gerrard was in control of the ball. I remember he didn't have any reason to collapse on the ground as he did because I remember his movement. He was, do you remember, big fella, and he tried to make a torsion, and all his body remain and the foot remain on the ground. So his knees was turned, and then he started screaming in pain. And after that situation, it wasn't quick, the situation, you know, the action. There was 1, 2, 3 seconds where Sinclair, he was more intelligent than me, he took advantage of that situation. He's delivered the ball. Obviously, he didn't make any challenge to him. He thought, I can carry it, you know. But I was looking there, and then I saw him on the ground. For me, the game was, at the moment, it was finished. You know what I mean? In this moment, I didn't have the brain to carry on. I was already with my hand like that before the ball arrived to me. If you can see, 1, 2 seconds earlier, the ball is in transition to arrive to me, and I stay already in that position because...
That's what I mean. A lot of people wouldn't see the goalie. They would just see the ball, but you had that, you know, vision to look and see it and act on it.
But, you know, belong to the individual. I saw him. He got the ball. No reason to collapse, so he didn't cheat, you know what I mean? So it was clear that he had a big damage. So it wasn't fair to carry on for me. Obviously, Sinclair couldn't stop it because he was too close. He didn't realize probably that he was screaming in pain, you know. But from there it was easy because I was 30 years from that.
Was Harry pissed off?
We've got to go, honestly, we've got to go into
I was
Q&A.
nearly to fight with the rest of the teammates.
We'll go into a Q&A in a while. We'll get questions from the floor, so you get your chance. But what I'd like to ask about that was anybody there? Was any fans there tonight? Was any of you? Was you at Everton that day?
Yeah.
Well, what were your feelings going home, and what do you think? I
tell you.
Were you cursing him or were you praising him? Yeah, but I think when you got home and saw the pictures and saw the situation, you'd have probably gone, do you know what? That's fantastic. Yeah. Weren't happy.
you.
Right, let's move on with that.
No,
listen,
but that
brilliant.
is a good question. So you asked me about the red napper.
All right, go on.
But
We'll take that question, but
No, but
seriously,
the rest
we're
of
going to
the
go into the
teammates-
Q&A in about 15 minutes.
I thought, okay, we drew. We were in a safe place anyway because we weren't very close to the bottom three. In a safe place in some way, but we need, extra points to be sure. And I went through the turn inside the dressing room. 1-0, 1-0 at Everton can be possible. Good result anyway. I went back. Okay, lads, come on. Yes, come on, keep going. Nobody talked to me. No one. So a very hostile environment. I say, what's going on? Now they're gonna kill me under the shower. So no, but because I was working in the shower like that. So maybe there is some because no, but it's obvious because they were in the middle. Okay, good gesture, but we need a point. Good, okay, we can maintain this quiet situation. Then we talk in Tuesday when we go back to the training session. We see. But the next game we win anyway, and then everything was done.
That was a great moment. Showed a different side to Paolo Di Canio. Absolutely brilliant, fantastic. Yeah, really good moment. People will talk about that. People will talk about that for an awful long time. Sportsmanship, outstanding. I have to say as well, the goal of the season.
Which one?
Brilliant.
The lucky one.
The Wimbledon goal when I was on the bench for Wimbledon that day. I was coming back from injury and I sat on the bench and I was right behind it, believe it or not, the old Upton Park. Scored from that end, Trevor Sinclair, diagonal ball. I was right behind it and I just thought technique, timing, and it was just phenomenal. The volley. And Harry said you do that every day in training.
I tried.
Is he right?
Yeah, it's true. I tried, but never happened in training. Only once in the game. That is strange. Perfect combination. The position of the delivery, in the way I ran. It's obviously it's difficult because normally in that position you approach the ball with the opposite foot.
The angle. You've almost got a small.
From there, you try to hit the ball with the other foot to cover the ball. But when you go with, lateral body position and kick the ball with outside part of your foot, try to block the ankle. Otherwise, maybe you can floppy the ball and make a very bad shot, a touch. Wasn't easy because in front I had also at the time I was the skipper.
Neil Sullivan.
Yeah, no. They were two twins. Do you remember? Two brothers. The blonde one.
For Wimbledon?
Yeah, for Wimbledon.
Thatch, left back. Kenny Cunningham.
Winnie Johnson. Oh,
Wasn't
he
big.
was already actor. But I don't remember. Anyway, the real things why I did that because I thought.
Rio Ferdinand. Twins. No, it's not twins.
Ferdinand, I used to play with
Sorry,
him.
carry on.
Okay. The delivery.
We want to hear about this goal.
I thought.
We want to hear how it came, what happened, what.
No, I
the
thought
technique was
in
just-
the Wimbledon bench there is John Narsson, which is better than Maradona. And I need to show him that I'm good too. So, no, that was good because honestly, every. Do you remember Joe Cole? In some matches, try to do the same because I used to keep him with me, and then after I did that with Jermaine Defoe, the young player, I used to like to remain with them and try to improve them as it happened to me with Van Basten, with Vialli, but not only with with this kind of gesture. In some way, I try to teach them. 10 minutes to go of the game. There are a big percentage of chances to score because the opponents, if they win, if they draw, if they lose the attention. Every player is automatical, If you try to work hard and maintain your attention, your concentration, and you work 10 minutes extra, 15 minutes extra, you will have more chance to make difference. 2 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, because at the beginning everybody got energy, mentally and physically. Everybody can challenge, everybody can help each other. But during the game you go forward, 80 minutes, 85, someone, stretch, forget to call his teammates, stay close, go press forward. And then I used to like to stay with the young players. Obviously I couldn't stay with everybody because the oldest, 1 hour is too much already.
Yeah.
Well, we spend other time on the field. Yes, stay 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Try some technique, some skills that you can have maybe in the opponent's box, because you got skills, you can change direction quickly. And if I'm not wrong, Joe Cole went very close to score a goal in this manner in few matches at Chelsea, if I'm not wrong. But obviously he couldn't score like me. I was the original.
Yeah.
So obviously.
Absolutely, well done, brilliant, great goal. Was it a great goal or what? Unbelievable. Yeah, super. And I'm sure them players, when I was at West Ham, Cole, Ferdinand, Lampard, Carrick, Defoe, they were all coming through. I believe they won the FA Cup that year under, was it Terry Carr, wasn't it? FA Youth Cup they won, sorry. Under Terry Carr, he brought them all through, and they were fantastic players. You almost knew that they were going to
imagine if West Ham had the power, the desire to keep all of them. I don't want
Good
to say
point,
them.
great point. But when you get offered 30 million from Leeds for Ferdinand and
At the
whatever it
time,
was,
yes.
it is a shame, because I believe, if they kept their best players and added, and West Ham could have been challenging.
And I paid the price for that reason, because publicly, unfortunately, couldn't write. I wasn't right to say that publicly, because I remember that we used to made a new stand. The new stand, the club spent about 33 million at the time, and I was angry because for the team, for the fans, I thought I think the fans are happy with the stadium anyway if you maintain a strong team and you try to win something. So I try to speak in the fans' behalf, but as a footballer I shouldn't do this, because you need to play even if you don't agree with some maybe decision the club make, and try to give your best, and maybe take your energy positive to give your best with your teammates. That situation created a problem to me with the board, and for that reason that even when we unfortunately have been relegated, I told them I want to stay, sign the contract how you want, but I want to stay because I want to come back with the fans, so we need to give them back the Premier. And white paper, I sign and you put what you want, but you want to keep me, and then I left.
Brilliant. Brilliant, Paolo. Great words. So after West Ham, you had a good spell. You had a good spell at Charlton. You got goals there. Seemed to be enjoying your football. At Charlton, of course, South London club. And then you went Charlton, you went back to Lazio.
Yeah.
And then you played for Cisco Roma.
Yeah, there I was
to
only...
finish your career. But you were 35, and when you left West Ham, but then you went on to play another 200
2 years.
games.
Another 2 years.
Another 3 years, and you retired at 38. Yes. But that's a testament for keeping yourself in superb condition. Yeah. Brilliant.
And yeah, I was fit. The last year at Lazio, I was nearly 38. To be honest, I played a lot of games. I scored a few goals, important goals. I gave my contribution to finish 6th. We got qualified for the Europa League. So it was a good season. And then I left, obviously at 38, so you can retire. And then I made that decision to go to Cisco because it was a League 2 side, like in England, League 2 side, close to my quarticciolo. And then after many years, go around the world and play football, I had a chance to come back where I was born, to give the chance to the youngest to grow up and took off them from the street. And there was a project to play, stay with the young players, help them, and in the future maybe also become a manager on those teams and help the academy with the young people to growing up in a right way and see if, and look if you can discover maybe some talented player. But the main priority was to help San Basilio, Quarticciolo, very tough area, still tough area where there are lots of drugs. So to help the youngest to go out from the street, go on the field and run, play, sweat, share the sport, the life together, and maybe become a better person.
And always giving something back, which if we hadn't come along tonight to listen to Paolo, then we wouldn't have appreciated what he gave back. You know, wanted to go back home, help the children in the situation where he once was, and encourage players, you know, to have better lives and everything else. Management. 2011, you did a little bit of coaching at Cisco Roma in terms of preparing yourself, handling a dressing room, speaking to players, looking at systems and formations, learning that side of the game. And then you got your managerial chance at Swindon. You got a promotion, did very well, looked as if you were going to go on from there.
Not promotion. We became a champion.
Champion, sorry, yeah. It's the same thing.
We finished top
Yeah,
of
but
the league.
it's not the same thing. But
It's
brilliant,
different.
yeah.
To finish there is no bad.
You won the
Top.
league at Swindon, yes. And then that ended in acrimoniously, if you like. And then you had a spell at Sunderland, only for 13 games.
Yeah.
You took over from Martin O'Neill. And again, that ended not in the way that you'd expected.
Yeah.
But management, are we likely to see you possibly having another go?
It's obvious, but there is a fire in my stomach, in my heart. Every time I watch a game, I imagine myself in a dugout, stay quiet as usual, quiet, say, hey, Matty, close, don't go too far, come on, otherwise they push me out, they send me off again. No, but we had a fantastic end of the season because I went to Sunderland 7 games to go when Sunderland was nearly to go down, and we maintained the league. We were very good. My staff made a great job, but I have to tell that the players are the main protagonists. They at the beginning they were, because we worked much harder than they used to do. By the end, they understood that it was the right way to go out from a bad moment, because Sunderland, before I signed for them, they came from a bad run, 8 games, 2 draw and 6 defeats. They were down in a free fall. At the end, we won 3-0 away against Newcastle. We won against Everton. They were 4th in the league.
Somebody ruined your knee patches on your suit when you slid in. What a moment that must have been, by the way.
It's good because as a manager you got more pressure. You know that you have to work for, even if as a footballer we thought before you play with your heart for the fans, but you are an individual that once you finish, you go back home angry or happy, depends how the game is gone. But you stay with your family anyway. You think tomorrow train hard and you don't think 24 hours, I need to prepare this job, this play, I need to work in this way, I need to give my, carrots to this to this play, I need to stick the other play. So it's very difficult because I took serious this job and I went mad 24 hours per day because I want to get result for the team and for the chance that they gave to me, the board, the club. The new season didn't start well, as Sunderland did for many years, because when I left for 3 years in a row, they started exactly the same. My problem was, once we maintained the league, that they brought in 2 general director from Italy. One was enough. So Paolo Di Canio, you got with my staff, all Italian. They brought 2 Italian. They were 2 friends of Eli Short, the chairman. We can mention because anyway, you can break the relationship. You can finish your job with the people. And we didn't start well because we have different view, different opinion. I told them, you can't make a bigger revolution because I know English football. You don't know English football. Probably you don't know even football. But English football for sure no. That is how to be diplomatic. I'm a diplomatic person, you know. No, I didn't say this. I said the third time that I didn't listen, I say, you don't know English football, you don't know football at all. And 16 new players, even if you bring in top players, it's difficult for them to gel together. We maintain 6, 7 English footballers, British footballers, and 16 not from the same country. As Wolverhampton did the last 2 years. They decided a mix of British and then 7, 8, 10 Portuguese, because there is a Nuno Espirito Santo which has a good mentality as a Portuguese. The club followed him because he proved in a championship that he played good football. He can repeat the same football with bit better player, higher level in the league. It's not for me a surprise that they are 7th in the league because there is a project, plan and mentality. I told them 16 new players from 7, 10 different countries. One from Switzerland, Portuguese, Italian, Argentinian, Poland. It's difficult. Not even a magic man can do this in an instant. They didn't want to listen. Obviously, after 5 games, against Arsenal, we deserved to win, to be honest. But we lost the game. We lost 2, 3 games. And then I was too tough. I wasn't really, what you say, diplomatic to try to convince the player. I went straight because I thought, or we go straight and we turn up once forever, or I lose the job. I'm happy because I told the chairman, listen, you need to choose. There are 3 Italian, or the right one, which is one me, or you follow the others 2. It was easier for him to follow the other 2 because those are the people that brought in 16 players. And they told him the Canio is not good with them. And then Poyet arrived there for 6 games in a row. They continuously, they lost the game. And then they brought in others 8 players to maintain the league. But every year, I told them, if don't happen this year that you go down, in 2, 3 years, you're going to lose everything because you're going to relegate it. And once you're going to go down, just because you didn't build the mentality and the strategy, you're going to have a double relegation in a row.
Spot on, they played
in 3, 4 years, it happened what I thought. Yes. But not because I'm a magic man, because I was in Juventus, in Milan, at West Ham. I have experience. Once you go down, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have mentality, philosophy, in some way, you're gonna, lose the way. You're gonna make a disaster. Unfortunately for them, it's happened what I thought them.
Yeah. Paolo, it's been an absolute privilege.
No, it was for you. I think for that. Then I say thanks to you and all the people.
By the way, you've been a great crowd. You've given us. It's not easy sitting quiet, but you can listen to this man all night. You've been brilliant. Thank you for your order. Willie Thorne is going to come on now, and we're going to do 10-15 minutes of Q&A. So listen. God bless. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you. Happiness, true and true, forever.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, what a thrill it is for me just to finish off the evening. We just have a couple of questions from the audience anywhere. Whereabouts are we looking first of all? I'll come up there. Goodness me, I'm going to kill myself going around here.
John is already on the table.
I'm on the way, Paolo. Just give me a second to get up these stairs. I'm not as young as I used to be.
But can I tell you something before they ask me something? Before I saw one person, you all make me a dream to be here, but I saw a person before that made me dreaming when I was young, Samantha Fox. Touch me, I wanna feel your body, your heart be mine tonight. Touch me now. You are amazing, Samantha, you are amazing. The best, the only one.
Good to be with you,
I have
Paolo.
you in my heart and in my hair. Hey.
Paolo, we've got the first question. I totally agree with you, Sam. It's lovely to see you over there. I'm over here, Sam. Little Willie's over here, darling. There's Little Willie. Nice to see you, Sam. This young man's got a question for you, Paolo.
Yep. Your winner against Chelsea, your last goal at Upton Park, is probably the most emotional moment I've seen on the football pitch. Can you just talk us through that moment for you and what you think went wrong that season?
You know,
Good question.
as it happened, sometimes I was out from the team because, with the chairman, with Glenn Road, we didn't have a good feeling. I remember that I had a chance to go back to Italy since 2 months earlier. I say to my wife and with the family, I stay here. I train in my garden. I used to train in my garden. 15 yards garden, shuttle, up to the stairs to maintain myself fit and hope that to have a chance to come back on the squad because the team was nearly to go down. Once Trevor Brooking called me and asked me, Paolo, he asked me, would you come back straight away? It's obvious that unfortunately that goal wasn't enough to maintain the team in the Premier League, but was one of, I told John before, I maintain the good and the bad memories in this family, as it happened with your father, with your brother, with your mother. So even if I had bad memories because I couldn't give FA Cup, League Cup to you, but unfortunately I was part of the team that went down and maybe hurt you, your heart for a few months, probably for a few years. I keep in my heart because I belong to the best family. The best and the beautiful things that can happen. But as usual, I try to give my best. That was good. That moment was good because I threw away my shirt before Trevor Sinclair came up to me. But once again, I tell this with a little bit, sadness because it wasn't enough.
Great one. We've got a gentleman at the top here, Paolo.
Hello, Paolo. In those years at West Ham, which player was your best friend?
Who is your best friend? Two-part question. Who is your best friend and who is the best player? Let's do it that way.
Say. Paolo, please, Paolo. Don't do this, Paolo. You're crazy, Paolo. No. Because I tell you, I still have a contact with Trevor Sinclair, to be honest. He's a good fella, good guy, smiling. His smile is positive. You can see from his picture. He's a positive guy. He's a genuine guy, but at the time I used to have a good relationship with my family, with Shaka Islop, with many of them, Thomas Repka. I used to call him Dumb and Dumber. Two person in one, but anyway, was good fella. But I had many friends, good memories with them. So, but I still in touch with Trevor Sinclair. I met him also a few months ago. But I keep them in my heart because at West Ham, everybody had a good place in my heart.
Can I ask you a question, Paolo, myself? Who was the best player you played with?
At West Ham or?
Anywhere.
At West Ham with Paolo Di Canio. No, at West Ham, no, I played obviously when they were young. They became fantastic footballers. Trevor Sinclair, especially Frank Lampard, Rio Ferdinand. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. No, Michael Carrick, many players. But in life, obviously, I had the chance to play with next to Vialli, next to Van Basten, we are Savicevic, Baresi, Maldini, and many others.
Quite a
Fantastic
few.
footballer.
Question here.
Buongiorno, Paolo. Quick one, you looking pretty in shape, but all I will say is, ish. Dino Zoff, Paolo Rossi, these are the men to be looked up to, the Italian 80s. How do you keep yourself in such shape right now? And what is your favourite, Theodora, Kappa, or Lotto?
Who's that?
I can't tell you all and how I keep myself fit, but I train every day. Tomorrow morning I go train because I like when you born as a fighter, you want to maintain yourself a fighter. You know, even I look like 27. It's clear. I'm 51 already, but. I train every day because if you have been an athlete, you know, you want to maintain this kind of dignity. You know, I don't have nothing with the people that want to eat a bit more because it belongs to me to respect the job I have done for many years. It gave me the chance to become what I am now. So I train every day and I feel okay because you know, the stress, the problem you can forget. Paul, have you seen Paolo Rossi yet? In the last few months, have you seen him? No, Paolo Rossi was amazing. He's a hero in Italy. Dino Zoff, one of the best goalkeeper ever in football, not only in Italy. So they were amazing. It's obvious that I was really younger when they used to play. They were amazing.
Got a question there, Paolo?
You're welcome.
Hello. You was the most informed Italian forward in 2000. Did you expect to call up to go to Euro 2000? Or is it a regret of yours that you didn't get one?
I don't know. It's obvious that Italian football in the last few years is not a very competitive football. There are few talented players, but they didn't build, you know, like it happened in England. Academy looks at Italian youngest player. They brought in lots of foreign players. It's difficult. And once you don't get result quick, they change manager, and they don't have the courage, they don't have the desire to push and send the young player on the field. You know what I mean? They want to play with all this player because they want to maintain the calmness in the dressing room. This is not the way to help the youngest to become a good footballer, as it happened the last few years in England, because you have many talented players. And the last World Cup, you saw the difference already, because I saw a good team, I saw a good spirit, I saw a team with the best knowledge. They have already knowledge. 20 years ago couldn't possible also in England. So I think that we need to work hard. We need to follow the English mentality if we want to come back at the level that we need to go, because Italian football always was at the top level. I hope in the next European tournament we can do our job. Mancini did already good job because, for example, tomorrow they will have a friendly game, and Kane, you know, is at 2000 now. He's only 18. He played for Juventus, played only one game, but he goes straight to the national team. So good mentality. Mancini, which is a good guy, intelligent. He came in England. He was a manager at Manchester City, understood this, and then started, you know, this project for the future.
Got the last question up here, Paolo?
Paolo, first of all, thank you very much. We've just sat for the last couple of hours and heard about a fantastic career you've had, all the way up to West Ham and since then, and different situations with the fantastic goal you scored against Wimbledon, etc., etc. But there's one thing that's been missed out the whole evening, right? One thing that sticks in my mind, and I'm sure there's many people sitting here tonight that have got this in the back of their mind. And I'm going to mention 2 words, and I just want you to come back and tell me what you think. Fabian Barthez.
I was drive, quiet, calm. It was, 20 miles per hour, so no, wasn't out from the law. He tried to stop me as a policeman. I say, no, why? I go. He's right, and then it was a good moment because I know him. I can understand what he tried to do. He thought I come from Marseille, France, maybe I try to distract him and say, hey, offside, offside. I come from Quarticciolo. I used to hit under the ground. I hit the net, and then we can talk. If it's offside, okay, I'm sorry. I kick the ball in the net, we will see. So it was mentally, fighting. And only one can go out as a winner. It was me. So obvious. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Paolo Di Canio, ladies and gents.
Thank
the
you.
legend that is Paolo Di Canio.
Every time I come back here, thank you so much. Thanks.